Hi everyone. So I've been in my studio today and I've done quite a lot of paintings because I was really excited to try out these new brushes, these little paddle brushes. I've been waiting for them to arrive for ages from Temu, of all places. But they were really reasonable and I thought just to try them out and see how they work, that it'd be nice to order them from there. And I was getting really frustrated because they hadn't arrived. But they came this morning and I love the short handle for them because I have quite small hands and I really needed something that fitted quite nicely. Now, I think you can get traditional paddle brushes that are Chinese that are made from bamboo, but I thought I'll give these a go. They're synthetic, they've got a really nice edge to them, and they came in a pack of three different sizes, so quite versatile depending on the size of painting that you're doing. So I tried out these two for this painting here, which is a really loose landscape, because I wanted to see how they could contribute to painting loosely. I used the same colours. I got quite carried away. I did this one, two little abstracts. But today I thought I could show you how I painted this one really loosely, really quickly, getting some nice edges with the brush, and then also using one of the medium brushes to get those nice big sweeping movements for the sky, because you can really load it up. Anyone that's seen my tutorials before will see that I love a flat brush, but these fit really nicely in your hands. So let's see how they work and see if they've got any pros and cons, and we can run through them while I do the demonstration. So here we go. So I'm using Arches paper and it's on a block. I'm taking the medium size, which is a 2 inch, and this set comes with a large 3 inch, a 2 inch, and a 1 inch. For this painting, I'm using the 2 inch mainly, and then also the 1 inch for some little details. So as you can see, it's spreading the paint along really nicely. I'm using cerulean blue, and it's, even though it's got a synthetic brush, it's holding a lot of paint on the brush, which is nice. And it's also giving it quite a nice even coverage. So the bristles aren't separating out too much, so it's still staying a nice sweeping movement with lots of colour and diffusion. I did pre-wet the paper, so hopefully this should all sort of mingle and merge quite nicely. I'm also going to use some turquoise as well, just to add some brightness to the sky. But the purpose of this tutorial is more to show you how the brushes work and what I liked about them and what I didn't like, rather than specifically a sort of a paint along or a step-by-step tutorial. I've added a bit more cerulean there, a slightly thicker mixture. And it is going on very nicely, very smoothly. And I really like the size of it in my hand as well. It fits nicely. It's got a curve to the end of it as well, which is nice, fits in your palm. Although I'm using it mainly with my fingertips at the moment. So I've added in a thicker mixture there of cerulean, and I'm using it to just spread around, using a little bit more water to mix it and get it sort of nicely diffused. Now it does shed a few hairs, a few bristles, which was a little bit annoying, to be honest. So I suppose that's one of the cons of picking some cheap brushes from Temu. But it give a really nice sort of dry brush effect here. So I was using thicker, drier paint, separated out the bristles, and you can see that texture on the paper, on the cold press, which is nice. So you can also use it to smooth out as well. So at the moment, I'm just dry brushing, using the corner of it as well, as you would a normal flat brush. So you can use the corner, you can use the edge. So here I'm putting in some sort of misty trees in the background. And I'm taking different colours, but I'm using the very corner of the brush just to dab that paint in, and then use the corner to then smooth it across in a nice line. So it is holding a lot of paint in the brush. So it's working like a normal sort of long bristled flat brush would do. But because it's got a really nice chisel head to it, almost like a hake brush, it does give you that nice flow of paint in a nice clean line. So I'm still using the 2-inch size here. So I haven't switched to a smaller brush. And I'm still able to get in those details of the trees, some dry brushing, separating out the bristles, bringing that in from the right-hand side, just using a mixture of darks. So I think I've got some raw umber and some Payne's grey. And then switching to the 1-inch size, you can pull out some paint as well. So just using a clean damp brush, the 1-inch size here, I'm able to pull out a few bits of paint, give some light patches. So I suppose one of the pros for these brushes is they do work very similar to a normal flat brush. You've got the larger sizes, you've got the smaller sizes, which is great. But the real bonus for me when I was painting with them was that you could really fit them nicely in your hand. So you haven't got that really long handle that comes with a large flat brush. So I would say they're nice and comfortable to paint with. They're still very versatile. And you can still stay very loose with them if you're using a large size or even the 1-inch size. Um, and put in some really rough, loose details using the corner of them. And then getting some nice clean edges when you run them horizontally using the whole of the end of the brush. So I really like them. Here on the painting, I'm just filling in some extra darks. So I've switched to a round brush just to get those last few little darks in, the suggestion of trees at the back. But the main purpose of this demonstration was to see how these brushes worked, and whether they're worth adding to your brush collection. And I would say that they are. I really enjoyed it. It was almost like playtime. So they work very similar to a hake brush, and there is a tutorial on my channel where I do go into quite a bit of detail on the pros and cons of hake brushes, how you can use them in your paintings, and how it encourages you to stay quite loose and avoiding those little fussy details. So I'll put a link to that in my description below. And I do also have quite a few other paintings on my channel where I talk about how to paint loosely. So just a few finishing touches for this painting now, um, just to get some darks in, just some different values and tones, and then I'll do a little bit of spattering, um, just to finish off the painting to give it a bit of added texture. And those are the finished paintings from my day in my studio, having quite a lot of fun painting with those little paddle brushes. If there's any paintings here that you'd like to see a full tutorial for, there is quite a long one for the painting at the bottom where I do a lot of misty trees. Then just let me know and I can add that to my channel. But thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you found that useful. Um, Maybe give them a go and see what you think. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.